Plastics are relatively chemically inert. Our bodies can't digest them, and our stomach acids aren't able to break them down. Because the plastic doesn't digest, if it can't get through your stomach and intestines, it will cause problems. Here's why there is plastic in fish meat. According to a 2017 UN report, there are more than 51 trillion microplastic particles in the sea, more than 500 times the number of stars in the Milky Way. Studies published from 2010 to 2013 found that an average of 15% of the fish sampled contained plastic. In studies published from 2017 to 2019, that share rose up to 33%. Microplastics were found in 73 of the 150 examined fish. 52 fish had microplastics in the gastrointestinal tract, 54 had microplastics in the gills, and 48 fish had microplastics in the dorsal muscle. Microplastics are found everywhere in the ocean, floating at the surface, mixed in with water, and some are denser than the water and sink at the sea floor. Plastic fibers do not biodegrade and become persistent environmental pollutants. When fish consume these plastics, they can build up inside of their GI tracts and cause physical harm to the fish. Plastic also leaches chemical contaminants into fish and their environment. Not a whole lot is understood about microplastics and their environmental effects yet, but you eat fish, you could be eating plastic. Everyone knows we are not only taking large amounts of fish out of the ocean, but we are constantly dumping plastic, trash and other forms of pollutants into the ocean. While it might seem like we continue to dump waste into the ocean without any consequence, it looks like what we put in, we are getting out, all wrapped in the package of the fish we consume. In 2011, ecologist Mark Brown published a study, Accumulation of Microplastic on Shorelines Worldwide, Sources and Sinks, which made a rather shocking discovery. The world's oceans are filled with tiny plastic microfibers that come from all clothing. The majority of the clothing that we wear today is made of synthetic material, basically highly flexible plastic fibers that are cheap to produce and require minimal maintenance. Brown traveled to 18 different shorelines across the world and found that 85% of the sediment along those shores were composed of microfibers. And another question you might ask, how did bits and pieces of your clothes get along these shorelines? Well, laundry. Every time a single piece of synthetic clothing is washed, it releases 1900 plastic microfibers into the water. These microfibers are carried out of your washing machine, too small to be filtered out of the water and end up washed out to sea. Scientists at Ghent University in Belgium recently calculated that shellfish lovers are eating up to 11,000 plastic fragments in their seafood each year. We absorb less than 1%, but they will still accumulate in the body over time. Contaminated fish and shellfish have been found everywhere from Europe, Canada, Brazil to the coast of mainland China, and plastic-eating fish are now showing up in supermarkets. The question is no longer, are we eating plastic in our seafood? What scientists are urgently trying to establish is just how bad for us that is. Another question we might ask ourselves, how did we get here? Give us a thumbs up if you find this video interesting and stay tuned for more of the wise stuff.